she was kind of, the band was practicing here, then she was kind of trying to do what they were playing here. And again, how was the Halloween? Did all of you enjoy Halloween? You had many parties, and some of you I saw in very good costumes on Facebook, posted pictures. It's nice to see that. And I went to once Halloween party in Mansoor home, but I didn't do any costume. And also I was thinking of attending Belvedere Halloween party, but I couldn't stay that longer. And I heard it was kind of very big, maybe 300, 400 people attended. And I wasn't there. Some of our members who were there, they mentioned this. But I attended that. The other meeting we had, brunch at the garden, which was a meeting of Young Unificationist meeting about the future of our church or the future of our movement. It was very well attended. Also, Bishop Kim and Dr. Balcom attended. They shared two others' concerns about our movement and how we can transition to a younger leadership. And it was very well received in our community. Because our community, New Jersey community, was well represented. Maybe because Carlson is there too. And I was very happy that I could join, and it was very good atmosphere. And also last Sunday we finished laying down these swords outside. Did you see the new lawn? How is that? Do you like that? Let's give a big hand to people. Actually, Pastor Raymond and our other youth ministry staff, they were fundraising, and I think 2 or 3 weeks they did fundraise to make money for that. And also Rani and the other Sunday school teachers and of course Sunday school children, they together donated almost $1,000 for that. And also Mr. Mansoor helped to organize the whole work and purchasing sword and everything. It was a kind of very big group. It's a big teamwork. And so many volunteers joined the whole Saturday and Sunday. It wasn't easy, but at the end when we see the result, it was really great. And I want to give you a big one more thanks to all of you. Thank you so much for joining to create that. It makes a huge difference in our church. The way people see and other people also can enjoy. It's really good. Now, do you remember what I spoke last week? I want to go back to last week, my sermon. Who remembered the topic? Oh, Mr. Cunningham, yes. Ananias, yes. Then what did he do? Pardon? Going to say? He went to speak Saul, and he went to bless Saul. And Jesus promised to Saul after he had that encounter with Jesus, and then he lost his vision. Then right there Jesus promised to promised to Saul that one person named Ananias will come, and after that you will be able to see again. And then again Jesus came to Ananias and talked to Ananias. Hey Ananias, there is one person named Saul. He is coming to Damascus. He will be here in Judah's home, and you go and meet with him. And I told him you will go there and bless him so that he can see again. And we again saw that Ananias followed Jesus, and with the conviction that Jesus is in him, is representing God and Jesus. He went there and blessed Saul by saying that, Brother Saul, I'm coming because Jesus asked me to come and I want to bless you. And then what did he do? He put his hands on the head of Saul and blessed him. Then he could see that. He could see again. He was blind for 3 days. Also, he wasn't eating for 3 days. After Ananias went there and after Ananias blessed him with the blessing of Jesus, with the salvation he received from Jesus, he blessed Saul, and then Saul was able to receive that salvation. Then he could see again. And what could be the possible story after that? And do you think, was there any follow-up afterwards? Then do you think initially when we see that story last week, we could see that Ananias was kind of reluctant to go in the beginning because he was afraid of Saul, because Saul was killing so many Christians and Saul was coming to Damascus also to find whether there is any Christians and to find out and kill them. And that means very logically Ananias could think that, okay, I did what Jesus asked me. I blessed him, he could restore his vision. Let me go back. Let me run back to my home with my life I had. Maybe he could do that. I don't know what he did exactly. And I believe he was a true disciple of Jesus. He was convinced in the salvation he received in Jesus. The salvation means they don't care about death. And they understand what is real life is. Real life for them is to be alive with God. To be convinced in their heart, what is the life I received from Jesus? What is the life with God? With that conviction, they don't worry to run away. They would stay with them. They would educate them, and maybe that's the reason this Paul became the greatest evangelist. And I felt there must have been a lot of follow-up. And here we were talking about I mentioned about that what we were doing last Sunday here. We did planting this planting the sorts here. And when we did that, planting that sort, I know you could see, it was in the last 2 week, Saturday and Sunday, we were so busy. And once we finished that, and we fenced it off, saying that, what does it say? Pardon? Caution. And it says, don't go over. Why is that? Why did we do that? It needs to take roots. And actually, the way this, the reason why we are laying down this lawn is that we want to probably enjoy that. Maybe sometime we want to go and sit on that grass. And last summer, many times I noticed our young members were playing frisbee on that grass. And even after we lay down this new grass, probably we can do that. But we fence it off because it's very new and it needs to be. It was when we purchased this salt from a salt farm 60 miles away. We saw the pictures on the website and they told us that this is what exactly we are going to give. This is really healthy sod. This is very well taken care and very strong. These are one of the toughest type of grass we have. Kentucky bluegrass. It is very good type. You don't need to worry about taking care of that so much. But now, it seems like it's not true. We have to fence it off. We cannot bark even when we try to water that. We have to be very careful. And actually, they didn't say any lie. They were true. They were saying absolute truth, because when it was in that atmosphere there, when it was growing on that soil in that sod farm, it was very healthy, it was very strong, but with some machine they totally uproot that. They cut off that grass from the soil, then roll it like a carpet and roll it here. It was in my life, first time I saw something like that. I was kind of shocked. Oh my God, they can do grass like this? This is just like a carpet. Is it really real grass? Just look like a carpet. It was, they took it off from the soil very nicely, then roll it as a carpet. Then we could just put it very easily. You can just lay it almost like you're rolling a carpet down. So easy. But there is no connection with the soil. The roots are not there. It got uprooted from that area, then we brought it back here. So brought it here, then we put it there. Then think what will happen if we just fence it off, then make maybe even like a very strong, even some notice also. I was trying to get some, me and Raymond trying to find some this billboards, small billboards saying that do not walk over the grass, but we couldn't find that, so even when we just use this caution tapes. And if we just do that, then go, okay, now everything finished, let me go and take care of my other things. If we come back within 2 or 3 days, it will be dead, totally dead. We can't do anything with that again. When they brought that grass here, that sorts, they told us, you have to use it, you have to lay down it before Sunday. It has to be done within Sunday itself. They brought it, I think Saturday morning they brought, then we had Saturday, then Sunday. They told us, if it passed Sunday evening, if you come Monday morning, it will be all gone. You can't use it anymore. Then they told us, then water it, and again water it, and keep watering it continuously. It should be soaked as a salt carpet or something like that. Then only it will be able to get rooted in the soil. And initially, then later we thought, oh my God, we should have first install a sprinkler system here, then lay down this. It's so difficult. How much we can water it? But because we all invested, me and Raymond and Ryan and everyone, we did a lot of work for this. Anyway, let's do it again. Let's keep doing it so that it will get rooted. So that we want to have that amazing lawn we wanted to have for years. And this plan, actually, it wasn't just a 2 weeks plan or 3 weeks plan. We wanted to have it for more than a year. Then we were discussing with many of our brothers and sisters, and even kind of stimulating an environment which kind of welcoming or wanted to have this. Then finally we lay down this. But after we lay down, if we just leave right there, hold that investment for the past 1 year, and this hundreds of work hours we invested last Saturday and Sunday, it would be lost. I think we have around 30 plus volunteers working all day. And how many hours we invested? All those investments will be totally gone if we leave it right there. And that's what I felt with Ananias And then, just like if Ananias was blessing Saul and then running away, I just did what Jesus asked me to do. Now let me wash my hands off. I'm done. I want to save myself from this dangerous person. Then probably Saul could never become that great evangelist Paul. And here again, I want to talk to you about what we should do as a follower after we bring down the blessings of God, bring down that amazing transformation from God to people. Is that just that one-time transformation? Do we have any responsibility in allowing or helping people to keep up with that? We believe we have the responsibility in giving out or sharing the salvation. But that salvation is not a one-time thing. And many times people say, when you have an amazing service sometimes, you have the Pentecostal experience. And after that, if you don't provide a stimulating atmosphere or nourishing atmosphere, any kind of Pentecostal experience can be just gone away when other influences come. Just as on this newly laid out sword, if we all walk down, just go out and walk just 1 hour, it all be gone. And that can happen with the people we are trying to bring divine salvation. That's what can happen with the people we are trying to bring closer to God. And that's why I want to encourage, I want to remind that this witnessing or this act of tribal messiahship, the act of bringing down salvation to people, it's not just one-time thing. This is going to be a lifetime thing. This is going to be a lifetime responsibility we are taking. And of course, it is not going to be same all the time. It is just like when we are raising our children. Initially, we have more responsibility. Initially, we have to totally invest our time. Then as time passes, we can, other side also will take more and more responsibility. It gets easier and easier, and then at one point, others will be able to give us a kind of much more freedom by sharing our responsibility too. And that will happen only when we nurture that growth. Only when we allow them to experience, allow them to, only when we create an atmosphere where real growth can happen. The real growth, the internal growth can happen. Just as I mentioned, like if we keep, once we invested in this laying down the grass, once we keep it for 3-4 weeks, that continuously we water it, then after maybe a couple of months, it will be able to get rooted in the soil, then it needs much lesser care. And after some time, by next year, I'm pretty sure we will be able to walk over that. We will be able to play on that lawn. And that happens if you are able to keep up your investment. If you are able to nourish your investments again and again and nourish the growth, it is happening in each and every individual's heart because of your touch. And it happens not just in other relationships. Just it is very, very important to have that relationship in our family, within our family membership. And today, in that Kundut reading, two parents mentioned to us that in a traditional religious setting, everyone would say, oh, don't have families, go away from family, then you go to a monastery and be an ascetic person, then you find God, and then you can have meaningful relationship with God. And here, our true parents are telling us, no, that's not enough. Once you have that, once you're able to make your relationship with God, go back to your community, go back to your relatives, and go back to your extended family and be a blessing of God. Be a person who bring down the blessing of God, blessings of God into your extended family. Maybe perhaps even into our own small family. And then get involved in your community, and that's where you can become a real representative of God, or real representative of true parents. And that's where you are creating a new world within that existing world. The salvation we are talking about, this is something tangible. This is something tangible needs to happen in each and every families, each and every societies, each and every nation. And that doesn't happen just as a one-time miraculous transformation. You need to keep invest and invest. Like just as people who go to blessing, and I think many older people, almost all the people who are married people who go to blessing, and then we receive that amazing blessing from God, then we are nurturing that. Then every time, every day, every moment, we are trying to be a person who is representing God for our spouse, for our wife, and for our husband. When we intentionally do that, that's where the real blessing became a tangible blessing. That concept become materialized, and then other people can see us. We may, then other people see, wow, that is something really different. And again, we may have differences. Because we believe in the promise of God, we will be overcoming that. We will be able to overcome the difficulties we have. Then we will notice, we will see the amazing good things our spouse have, our husband or our wife have. Then we take care of each other. That's the way we can make that real blessing of God in our families, and allow the families in our neighborhood to see what is a blessed family. What is a family with Jesus living in that family, with true parents living in that family. That's the way we have to nurture that. We have to continuously help other people also to make their families better and better. Once we invite a person to receive blessing, we need to keep it with that. We need to support for everywhere, support for eternity. And even in our workplace also. Many times, the attitude we have in our workplace can play a big role in creating real tribal messiahship or real environment in nurturing the blessing we brought to there. Many times we talk about how amazing truth we have and how amazing blessings we have. Then we may even invite people to sometimes enjoy the programs we have in our church or receive the blessing, provided blessing given by true parents and God. Then after that, within our life, we may not have a right attitude in the office. Sometimes we act like we work in an office just because we have to. Otherwise, we may get fired. Like our office timing may be 9 to 5. Then we are waiting until that key, until that pin, until that needle hit the number 5. Then we he said, okay, now I've finished my job, let me leave. And without any artistic investment, we just do, just to receive the money we can, so that we can survive. We can have that money for our families. But here, to be a blessing in our workplace, we are not just working for that boss giving us salary, or we are not just working for that organization providing us salary. We are being a person who is transformed by the grace of God, we are being there as a person who received the salvation from true parents and allowing other people to see what is a person, who is, how a blessed person will behave, how a person who has integrity will behave, how a person who has responsibility will behave. And sometimes we may not be able to finish exactly the work by 5 o'clock. And when we are ready to stay there another 5 minutes, or another 10 minutes, or perhaps another half an hour, we are showing to God, God, I am worthy for your trust. You trusted me, you gave me trust, and I honor your trust in me. And you can keep trust on me. And same time, we are honoring the other people who are working with us. That I am here to finish my job. I'm not here just to receive the money I can get. And I honor my responsibility. I honor my role. And same time, other people also need to be acknowledged by our honor. And many times, offices doesn't work that way. And we have to be a model for people. We have to practice that in each and every aspect of our life. And even for children who go to school. How many of you go to school here? How many of you go to a college? School or college? I think many of you, I see many young people here. And I know you go to school. And when you go to school, you may think, oh, what can I do here so much? I just come to Sunday service every week. I do my hunduke, and sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't know where I can practice this principle. These principles are live every day. Each and every moment in our life, we can practice that. When you go to a school, allow your teacher to receive the respect they are deserved. Your teachers or your staff in the school, they deserve that respect they ought to receive. Many times, we don't allow them to, we don't give out that. We keep all. Then we think, okay, they are not so great teachers. They don't have any right to receive my respect. We don't have any, we are not supposed to think that way. We are not able to, we shouldn't judge that way. Teachers have a position, and they are giving us knowledge. Because of that, they are worthy to receive our respect. And we have to give that. Only when we allow them to receive, or only when we allow to give it out freely without keeping that, then God gets happy. God feels that, oh, this child of mine, he is great because he is not keeping that respect he needs to give to his elder people. He is not holding off that respect he needs to give to his teachers. That's an amazing person. Then even those teachers, the teachers who teach you, they would see that, wow, that child is a little different. Why is she giving always the respect I need to get? She is different from other children. He is different different from other children. And they will understand that's because God is in you. And you are recognizing the God in that teacher. And that's the way society needs to be functioning. And that's the way real tribal messiahship happening in our life. It is not for tribal messiahship is not just something for people who are going out for witnessing in the street. People who are here in our church, we have many of our Japanese sisters going out for, not only Japanese sisters, so many other sisters and brothers, they go for witnessing. But many of them are 50 plus, and sometimes we can think that, oh, this kind of responsibilities is just for older people. No, wherever we are, we can do that. You don't even need to go to the street to really share that love you receive from God and true parents. You can share that where you work. You can share that with the school you go to. And you can share that with your parents. And allow your parents to receive the respect they're supposed to receive. You don't need to judge them. We are nobody to judge anyone. It is God who judges everything. We have no right to judge. We have no right to judge our parents. We have no right to judge our children. And our right is to give away the blessing they are supposed to receive. Then, education and guiding is not judging. We have to really allow God to work through us. Then only this amazing tribal messiahship, the amazing evangelization, this thing we talk about, like sharing the blessings of God, can happen, and the people who receive that can really experience that in their life. I mentioned about this grass before. The biggest thing this grass will face in this coming days is that it was raising, it was in a different environment. The soil was very different before. But the soil here we planted is totally different right now. And that's what it is thinking, oh, how can it get rooted here? It's a little bit different. The soil where I was before, it was more softer, more easy to get rooted. This looks a little tougher. And same like that, the people we meet in every day of our life, we are talking about this amazing principles and amazing ethical standards through which we can build a new kingdom, through which we can build a kingdom within this kingdom, or a world within this world. Then sometimes new people coming into us, even sometimes we also still have the difficulty, oh, how can I keep it? Oh my God, this is different from what I thought. This is really not easy. But if we keep going that, if we nurture each other, if we help each other, we will be able to get rooted in that principle, get rooted in that ethical standard we believe, and then we can build that kingdom here on this earth. Without building, without coming together, we can't build that. Sometimes we think, oh, we all are in, each and every one of us are in different planes. How can we do that? It is possible. I want to share one small, very, very small Bible passage, which is again from Apostle Paul's letter. And last week I shared a lot of things from Apostle Paul. Today this one is from Corinthians 3, 1 Corinthians 3:6. It says that I planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the growth. And it is Apostle Paul is writing this letter to Corinthians. The church of Corinth, he wrote this. And he said, I planted this church. When he is writing this letter, he is not there anymore. He is writing that letter from somewhere far away. And wrote this letter to the church of Corinth, saying that I planted this church, but now I'm not there anymore. Now Apollos is watering that church. He is taking care of that church. And he is taking care of the I invited them to be part of that church there, to be part of that community. And there, Apostle Paul invited so many people to be in a community which has a different standard from the community, the entire other community. That needed care. And that's why Apostle Paul appointed Apollos. And he is taking care of those people. Then, what is the difference there? Same like here when we planted this grass, some people were laying down, making the soil, make it clear, and some people were rolling down the grass, some people were cutting the sides properly, and then after that everyone left, and then later some other people watering, some other people thinking of how we can make a sprinkler system. And so, same that way here in our church also. So many of us have different responsibilities. Some of us go to streets there in this main street and bring people here. And today, some people just walk into our church today. We have 5 people just walk into our church this early at this 9 o'clock service. And then when we have, whatever the means, when some people come here, then a group of people want to talk to them because they want to get to know and they want to take care of the newcomers. They want to make sure that these newcomers are well taken care. The newcomers are feel to be a part of this community. Then there is another group of people. They would call once in a while to these new people came one time. If we don't see them next week or the week after, we usually give a call. Hey, what's happening? What's up there? And are you doing okay? Do you want to come again? And then sometimes we have a group of people who organize workshops. And they do like once in every third Saturday and fourth Saturday, we have divine principle introductory workshops. And they are dedicatedly doing that. And this, each and every step is equally important. And sometimes we can easily look down on other people. Sometimes some people say, oh, they're just doing that silly job and I'm the one teaching everything. If I don't teach, nobody will receive anything. God cannot God cannot come onto anyone's heart if I don't teach. And I know the best thing. And what happens if nobody invited anyone to hear? And even if we have the best lecturer here, if nobody feed these new people, do they really receive the love of God? They can't. They can't experience that. And same like that, sometimes maybe it can be opposite way. Sometimes people think, oh, they are just teaching. They don't know how difficult it is to witness in the street, or they don't know how difficult it is to bring somebody from my office and bring it over. They just sit here and teach. That's so easy thing. But it is none of us are doing that. In that Bible passage, it was so clear for Paul, I planted this church. I planted this community. And Apollos is taking care of that community. But it is God. It is God is nurturing. It is God is giving the real growth. And there are so many of us doing many different things. But behind each and every one of us, God and true parents, they are nurturing the real growth. And they are working in the hearts of people. We are allowing ourselves to be a channel of God and true parents. Always remember that fact. Whatever do, you may feel you may be doing something great. Or sometimes you may feel you are doing something silly thing. But everything equally important. I wanted to show you a video, but I thought it would be very, very long. And it was one story, it happened one time. All of you know Yellowstone National Park. And that was for almost 50 years, that national park was kind of wolves, this kind of dangerous animals which none of us like, and if we go to a park, a national park, we are careful about that. Oh, they are dangerous animals and keep away from them. But this, when they did, after a big study, scientists found out, scientists said, okay, let us bring some wolves back to this park. There was wolves before, let us bring them back. And this national park had so many deers, and when there was wolves were taken out of that, deers began growing so much, and then it eat up all the vegetation. Then anyway, finally everything was dying off. After these wolves came, everything started coming back, and in 10 years it became a natural big, even the rain, even the river in that national park started flowing properly. And maybe I will send that video later. It's an amazing video to watch. And just like that, in a community, each and every role is equally important, and we all are representing God in different ways, and be aware of that. And when a single chain from that is broken, it gradually everything will be broken. And here today, I want to encourage you. Last week I asked you to bring the blessings of God and true parents to people around you, and to share the salvation with people around you. And this week, I want to remind you, this is not a one-time thing. And each and every one of your continuous investment, continuous relationship with people around you is very important. Without that, that blessing you have given to them, it cannot sustain. It cannot grow. You have to provide an atmosphere where that blessing can grow and nurture in itself. Then we will be able to really bring down that salvation to each and every heart. Then they will be able to multiply that. Without that, we cannot create the kingdom of God or kingdom of heaven. And we all want to live that and be a blessing to your community. And it is unconditionally and continuously. Relationship is never something which can one time you feel like, okay, now I'm in the peak relationship, and now they grow enough. Let me cut off them. They don't need any of my support. No, this growth is always there. Growth needs nurturing. Growth needs support. And be a person who provides nourishment. Be a person who provides encouragement. Be a person who really brings down that God's grace to other people's life. Not just one time. Continuously. Every day. Every moment. And every time in your life. So that this salvation we are talking about can become real salvation. The salvation we are talking about is not just personal salvation. The salvation we talk is a salvation for families, salvation for society, and salvation for the whole world. That happens only when we share that with everyone continuously and unconditionally. Thank you for coming every Sunday morning here. May God bless you. Thank you.